All right, what we have here is a 2012 Toyota Sequoia Limited. Making a video because I've been doing a lot more work on this. We've had it since 2012. It's only got about 125,000 miles on it. It has the 5.7 engine, durable, strong engine, and pretty much a Tundra. It's pretty much a Tundra front end. The back suspension is independent, so it's more like a Lexus back end. So you got a nice ride. The thing turns great, turns on a dime, the turning radius in parking lots. So it's a good vehicle. The really, like any big vehicle, the worst thing is, of course, gas consumption. In town here, we're in a very small town. We don't drive much, about 12.5 on average miles to gallon. Not the greatest. I'm sure you can do better. I did take off the spare wheel because it was dry rotted, or it just was never changed since new. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. It's probably, I don't know if I'm gonna put it back on, because what's the worst? I don't drive out of town with the thing. You're in town. Worst case, you get a flat or something bad. You just pull over, call the mobile tire guy, or you call the wife, say bring out the spare. I don't know. I'm not gonna worry about it. Take off an extra couple pounds. Anyway, whatever. That's just me. Now people will say, put the tire back on, you're crazy. I don't really care. I really don't care. There's a dog in the car. So this thing is great. Good vehicle. It's big. You can haul stuff in the back. If you have a family, it's great. I just like it because it's big and it rides really nice. So one thing I'm doing this for is because most people don't put a lot of 2012 or even Toyota Sequoia stuff. It's almost like the car they make, it's great, but the Tundra outshines it for some reason because of the truck. But it's just a good SUV. I mean, you buy a new one today, you're what, 70, 80,000 bucks, and then you can't even work on them because all the computer crap, no access to drain plugs, refill plugs. The worst thing they've done on this is with the transmission fluid, there is no dipstick. Oh, it's lifetime? No, it's not lifetime. You can drain and fill. That's probably the most safest thing to do. I have not done that yet with 125,000 on it. I plan to do it. You just kind of need to get a scan tool which can read the ATF transmission temperature, because you want to check the overflow valve on your transmission at about what, 108 to 111 or something like that. Anyway, go on Amazon. Here's my advice. There's two ways. You can get a manuals. You can buy the PDF version of the service manuals for any vehicle. I got it for the Sequoia, and I also just ordered the book from Amazon for 32 bucks. So I'm just going to have all that stuff. Yeah, just to do that. So what do we got going on here? Of course, we're having teenage daughters. One daughter in particular, she tends to hit things. So let's look at the negatives of bad driving. First, we have of course, the fogging, hazing of the lights. I've done about 2 or 3 now to keep them clear and then clear coat them. So once a year, I think I find I have to do that with the UV light destroying the plastic. I'm just too cheap to buy $1,000 headlights aftermarket. I just like OEM. I want to stick as much to the OEM as possible and reasonable. There's one exception, which was the new steering wheel I put in, because I just could not justify 600 bucks for a steering wheel OEM. So that was the one case. All right, we got the wheels here, original aluminum alloy wheels. The black center cap started to oxidize. It's cheap plastic. Well, I mean, it lasts since 2012. So what I did, I took it off, cleaned it with alcohol, and sprayed plasti dip on it. So worst case is you can peel off the plasti dip versus spraying the thing and then making it permanent. So I sprayed it with plasti dip. It gives it a unique look. I was going to do the whole wheels, but the wheels aren't bad. Again, having a teenage daughter, I do have curb rash on some of the wheels. I did my best to sand them down. Yeah, right there. So that's what you get for having kids. It's a good thing. I'd rather have them do that than get hurt. So other thing, she says she was sideswiped in a parking lot. Someone pulled out, but she wasn't there. You can see what I did here. Look at that. They just kind of, whoops, sorry. What I did here, they got a nice little gouge right here. There was a little bit of rust forming small. What I did, I just don't care at this point to spend the money to fix it at this point. But I'll tell you why. Is I just really, to cover up any bad things, I just took the plasti dip and just sprayed a light coat over it. just to cover up, mask it, you know, like camouflage. I don't care. I'm not about appearances, man. I'm over function right now and just keeping this thing running and keeping it comfortable. So here's the rear wheels. Wheels are nice and shiny. Michelin. I learned to go with the best. Michelin. Buy Michelin. Don't buy cheap tires. $1,000 a tire on Tire Rock. Just get them and they'll last. They're good tires. What I did was get the bleach white spray, which is awesome. It takes off all of the brown crap off your tires. Do that, brush it, do a second coating. Then I coated it with some tire protectant. It gets all that brake dust off. What have we done so far? So we got the damage from the kid. The wife hit one of these mirrors. Which ones did she hit? Women, right? Women drivers, dude. They drive you nuts. All right, this one, you can tell. This is where I cheaped out. She hit the freaking gate closing. I don't know what she was smoking, but didn't stop, didn't even think to stop to pick up the cap that fell off. So I had to order aftermarket one. Yeah, you can see it's pitting already. It's like, it's been a couple years, but still. Get OEM. I mean, in the long run, you're better off. You're paying the difference. Put that back on. What I could do is get blackout covers. Just make them black. And I may do that because chrome is so crappy. I had motorcycles big time. And the thing was chrome it out, Harley. I didn't have a Harley, I had a Victory. Chrome the hell out of it. I just said, I got so sick of chrome. I'm sick of chrome. I hate it. It's like the boomer thing now. Just get chrome. No, it's got to be black. Blacked out, that's the new thing. Just dark it out. Who cares about schnazzle, flish? You know, who are you trying to impress? I just want it to look clean, low maintenance, and not pit and crack. And I'm not here to impress anyone, right? Anyway, so I'll probably get covers. But again, that's, you know, for those covers. And then the handle covers, these are cheap plastic. Yeah, it's about $60, I think, for black. I'll have to look. I can't remember. All right, what did I do? All right, everything looks fine on this side. Everything's good. The running boards are awesome, no rust. And what I did underneath. So let's talk mods. What have I done? Not mods, maintenance-wise. I'm not really into modding this thing. I learned my lesson with my Tundra I had years ago. I put new headers and pipes on. Stupid. After a month or two, I hated the noise. It was just a bad move. Don't F up your vehicles. Don't lift them. Don't put headers on them. You're just going to screw up the engineering and the ride on them, even if you think you know what you're doing. It's just, I don't know. That's just my opinion. You learn over time messing with cars. All right, so what did I do for rust down here with the salt air and all that stuff? Of course, don't drive through salt water if it's standing. Don't even drive through fresh water if you can't help it. There's puddles. First I started using Surface Shield, and now that works really good. Linoleum base, I think it's linoleum, not wax. It's that wax crap that sticks. I just gone nuts and sprayed the whole underside just to coat the damn car because, you know, you're starting to get the surface rust, nothing flaking, and done that. And now I switched up to the CRC anti-corrosion stuff. So I'm on CRC, got about a 6-pack off Amazon. Boom, done. Other things I've done, so we got the new front brake rotors and disc. What you do is you keep looking, mainly at Dade Toyota online, their parts. Last year they had 25% off and free shipping and dealer discounts out the wazoo. It was great. I got all the front brake rotors, pads, hardware kit, everything for like $300. You know, go to a dealership, good luck, $800, right, plus labor. Now this year again, I noticed, oh, there's another dealership. No, it was the same dealership, Toyota Dade. Go there now, up to like, I think they're going through October again, is I just ordered the rear set. So we got the front ones done. Boom, no big issues here. One nut was a little on the brake line holder was hesitant, but we got that cleaned up. Put anti-seize everywhere, cleaned all the rust out with a wire brush, made it right. Made it right. New hardware, out with the old pins and springs, in with the new. Ordered the rear ones, rotors, pads, hardware, boom, that's on its way. I got the brake fluid coming. My biggest neglect is I have not changed the freaking brake fluid on this thing. I feel bad. I mean, you're supposed to change it every 2 to 3 years. Even if you pull out what's in the cylinder cap and replace, that's even better than doing nothing. That's like a drain and fill in a way. But I really want to bleed these out, and I'll probably do that maybe next week. All right, got the rotors. You can see some of the damage. She almost hit somebody in the front. She hit somebody in the front. You know, I don't know, man. It is what it is for having a teenage daughter driving your vehicle. These are funny. I always never knew that there is a button inside for these wipers. Look at that. I go, why don't they work? There's a wiper thing. You know, my Audi had them. I go, I never figured out why these didn't work. But then I realized the motor. There's 3 motors pump motors on your reservoir, your washer fluid reservoir. That is a big expensive one. That doesn't work. Then after 12 years, the main washer motor went out. First, the sprayer got clogged. There's a little plastic thing right there that sprays out. You know, you can get a replacement thing. I made a video about it. I just bought a little T-fitting, brass. Boom, stuck it on. The clog's gone. It was a little valve that just failed. Replaced the main motor, washer motor, and then lo and behold, like 6 months later, the rear washer motor went out. Not again that it's important, but again, I like to have the little things I can work. So that I bought an aftermarket main motor, washer motor off eBay for 20 bucks. It's still working. I had to replace the existing filter cap, the OEM one on the new one, and but I said screw it. For the rear pump, I just bought OEM. I spent the money, 40 bucks, whatever. Just get OEM. Yeah, I don't know why. I just cheaped out on the front. Front one's still working, but crossing my fingers. All right, we got the rotors. What else did we do? We got the damage, letting that go for now. Great about this car is look at the room. There's a dog. A lot of room. Now there's no kids in the house. I like the screens. Up here in the sunny part of town, sunny part of the country. Pull the screens up, help keep it cool. I don't know how much of it does. Look, the dog's keeping cool. Leather's real good. Look, the seat's all tucked down under here with the buttons. Look at that. You can raise them from this location up in the front on both sides. You got location. And then, oops, I got all these mats. Let's see. There's the seats. They're under there. They tuck down in. The first gen, something said Sequoia. Yeah, there's Sequoia. So the first gen Sequoia, you had to pull the rears out if you wanted to get them out. What a pain. Those things are heavy. I remember them in my basement for a long time because I just didn't need them in the back. Yeah, leather's real good. Here's the other controls. I try to keep this clean. I wiped it down. I got these nice mesh mats right here. I'll go look at the brand in a second. Here you got your controls for your seats here and there. You got the AC controls. You got the vent covers. What I did also with all LED lights, all lights in the truck, all the way to the back, replaced all the bulbs, incandescent, whatever they're called, with LEDs, a lot brighter. And just be careful. Do not short out any of them because you'll blow your fuse. And that's a pain to figure out which one it was. It was just more work for just being stupid. What else have I done? Again, it's just maintenance. Differential, oil. 3,000 miles, which I do not meet here. It's hard to even put 5,000 miles where I live. So we go by 6 months. Every 6 months, boom, oil. I did the coolant, flushed it completely off the engine block and the radiator, let it drip. You pull out those little brass fittings and it just dumps a lot of antifreeze. Get that out, and I put new all Toyota stuff in, all Toyota differential fluid for this puppy and the center differential, and then of course the front because it's a 4-wheel drive. What I do also, my pro tip, a week before, man, I just start putting a PB blaster on any bolt, fill plug, whatever that has not been cracked in a while or I have not torqued down. I put that on. So even these bleeders on these brakes, I'm going to breed the brakes. Oh my God, that's hard to say. Bleed the brakes. And I put some PB blaster on each of the fittings. Notice that some of the rubber boots are busted off. I got to make sure, I got new ones coming from Amazon. So yeah, PB blaster everything before you even do stuff. Give it a week, just blast it. If you can, go out every other day and keep some PB blaster. Because when I cracked open the differential, the center differential, the rear, center, whatever, and then the front, boom, they just came right open. No issues, no rounding of bolts, no stripping of the Allen heads. Some are Allen nuts. And I replaced them with my Tacoma. I replaced them with a socket type bolt from a Lexus versus the 5mm, whatever the Allen size is. Yeah, those things round out too easy. So what have I done today or yesterday? What I did for keeping this thing on, we got seat issues, of course, being this old. I do have a new seat cover I ordered off eBay. So eventually I'm going to put that on when it's cooler. I just working on cars down here in the summer. You just drip sweat. It's just no fun. The only other bad thing, I think the dog or somebody got here and cut that. I put some glue in there to stop the peeling. Everything, you just got to maintain and clean. My young daughter, she doesn't know how to clean things. And we let this go for maybe 6 months to a year. And then now that she's out, out of the house, I've been working on this to get it maintenance, not adding crappy third market add-on stuff. I'm over that phase of my life. I'm not trying to press anybody. It's not going to get you any further. I just want to keep this thing running and put in some good parts. Up top, we got the roof rack, the notorious roof rack. This is oxidizing a little bit. So, and I also have these rubber channel runners here. Let me get up here. See these things? These were all cracked. I just fell off the car. Hold on. These are all cracked. I just ordered OEM, man. OEM popped these off. Some of these bolts are difficult to get out. One over there was stripped, or not stripped. I just couldn't get one out, but I was able to still get the channel runner out from underneath the mount bracket. Took the whole rack off in one piece, and these little plastic things pop up. And I just went to town. I just got some Rust-Oleum black paint and just, man, coated these up just to make them, give them a fresh coat of paint. Also, problem with this truck being this old now in the sun, my clear coat is going. I did kind of buff this down as much and coat it with as much wax. So that's with the damage on the side. So, and even on the hood, it's starting to go. That is with the Toyota paint. At least it's not peeling off like some of those platinum models where you can peel off sheets of paint from the white ones. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen that. That's kind of scary. This is just the clear coat. So when I get to it, when I'm done with all the other stuff and just keep getting this thing back on, just completely maintained, is just maybe consider a paint job after I get maybe this panel. This panel goes up here. It's a big panel too. I wonder, I don't know. What do you think? Can they just fix this panel without replacing it? If they don't have to replace it, that's better. If they can just get this gouge out from the mental patient, with no morality that hit it and just kept driving. Yeah. It's amazing how useless cops are. You tell them, oh, what are we going to do about it? Exactly. That's why kind of Teslas are a good idea, I think, because they got the Sentry mode. I know this is kind of lower. Did she get, as you look at the car in the sunlight, that's the best way to look at a car. You start seeing stuff. Oh, yeah, maybe she pushed the bumper down too. I just noticed that. See that? Oh, yeah. Oh, let's see over here. Oh, yeah. That's no gap. And there's a little gash. Crap. All right. Thanks, people. You can't have nice things, folks. I'm telling you. If you do, don't park it. Just go for the drive and take it back to your house. Also, in this neighborhood of mine, you can see there is golf course, and people don't know how to golf. So you get a golf ball. It's like hail. You get a golf ball hit. There's another one, and they actually broke my windshield once. And there's one on the hood. So that's why I'm not in much of a hurry to get a paint job. Mitigate any of the oxidation. That's where I'm at. All right, what else? Fluids, oil, transmission. I do a flush on the steering where you just suck it out and refill and keep doing that over time. Do it a couple times after you drive it. You can even do the brake fluid. Just pull it out of the reservoir, refill what you've taken out. Basically just mark where the line is and put that back in. And over time, you'll flush it out. But you can always breathe the brakes too. Breathe. Holy, that's a pain. I went to public school. Bleed the brakes as well. All right, what else? Oh, here's the mats. They are 3Ds. Is that what it is? I don't know what that's called. 3D. There's a brand. If you can figure out who they are, these are good mats. I like them. They're thin and they fit form really well. All right, what's next? Let's hop in here. The seat, of course, got the cover. Everything else is decent. I mean, you keep it clean. You wipe it down with alcohol. You get the fingerprints off. What we have here is the new steering wheel from eBay. The original OEM steering wheel. Completely disintegrating. The black particles are starting to fall on you. And I just said, all right, enough is enough. Yesterday, yet again, thank God the YouTube University, one guy out in Washington State, put the same wheel on. I like it's black. It's sporty. I did get one for like $220 versus, 600 plus from Toyota. And so far, it's nice. It feels like a new car. This is the original stuff. You just put the hardware back on. The airbag's under here. You just got to disconnect the battery. I made a video on that. It was, other than just breaking a little tab thing, it was fine. It was not a big deal. Just have the right tools, a 19 millimeter, torque it back down, and you're good to go. Yeah, so that's nice. There's one kind of nice needed repair just for functionality and driving and comfort. LEDs, like I said, sunroof, don't even use that. I hate sunroofs. Please stop putting sunroofs in cars. Please, they're useless. Who likes sunroofs? Not me. I am anti-sunroof. I just think it's the biggest waste. Just introduces problems and cost for what? It's just not good. I think that's it, man. I really do. I did put the plugs in a while ago, probably a couple years ago, because they're $100,000 Iridium plugs. Good to go. Wipe all this crap down. So what else? Like I said, did the bleach white on the tires. They get the brown stuff, the brake dust stuff, rust protection. Trying to think, fluid. Again, the brake fluid is next, and eventually the transmission drain and fill. I know, don't flush it. You'll destroy your transmission. It's running fine, so I'm really hesitant to even do that. But it'd be nice just to take out 3 to 4 quarts and put in whatever is needed to the to the overfill line or the fill line at temperature. I don't know why they don't put a dipstick in. I think because new cars, the problem is, like I said, go buy one of these new. Good luck. I mean, you can, but you can't work on them. That's the thing. You can't do a damn thing. They make new cars today are disposable. So you're going to spend $80,000. My friend spent $90,000 on some damn GM, I think GM or Ford truck. What a joke. And you can't work on it. This thing, if you have to end up putting, geez, let's say worst case you have to put $5,000 into it. You're still, like, for the sake of the paint job, let's say $5,000 to $7,000, whatever, maybe more. Let's say 10. Let's round it to 10. You're still way ahead of the game than buying a new piece of crap that you can't maintain. All right, guys, that is all I wanted to talk about. No one made Toyota Sequoia videos, so here you go. What do you think? Anyone still driving these things? I see a few now and then, but that's about it. All right, guys, I'm out 22 minutes in, and I'm going to take the dog for a drive, enjoy my new steering wheel. All right, thanks for watching.